Good evening, everybody. Let me get over to the page where I can see. How's everybody doing? I know we just did that exercise on setting our intentions when we first wake up. When we set the intentions when we first wake up, it can change the outcome of our day. And over time, we can see this go on as we make it a habit, as when we first wake up, we set the intentions for gratitude, what we're thankful for, what makes us happy, and then watch it transpire. Today, I want to talk about the world stage. And as we know, when we look out into the world, it's a mirror reflection of what is going on. And masks being worn tells a huge story about what is going on with humanity in today and what is going on in this now moment, and how we can affect through our own power that we each hold within us to make a change in what is going on. So masks being worn, on the face tells us many different things, not just for the reason that they're putting out there on why we should be putting masks on. It's not about that. What do we see that's deeper in that? What is the narrative behind it? What's the symbolism that is being portrayed to us for us to discern the times that we are in? Remember, in the scriptures, it says in the times, like of Noah, so shall it be in the signs of when the Son of Man will be revealed. And the Son of Man is, we call him Jesus Christ, but he lived life to the perfection. He overcame the law and lived in a perfected state of wholeness, which is what we all are striving to do as we're going through this journey of having different things open up. Changes that we notice in our surroundings, and also by what we see, by what we think, and what our heart feels. We watch things change or manifest within our life. Sometimes instantly we can see a change happen. Within a day or two, something will transpire that is what many would call of the supernatural way of being. So with that, let's see, what is the mirror reflection saying to us about masks over our mouth? That maybe there's people that are speaking, that maybe need to take some more time of introspection, and, they're putting out information that is leading people in a direction where it's causing more controversy. Do we know how the law, the spiritual law is what I'm talking about, came into being to begin with? Well, as we introspect more on what's going on within us, how we react to situations, how these situations come about where we actually give our power away. When something happens and maybe it makes us angry, which causes a reaction in us, well, we gave our power over to that situation and allowed it to cause a reaction within us, and therefore it multiplies through our intentions and things of that nature. Well, when we're talking about spiritual law only came into being because we, mankind, began harming other divine beings, other mankind. We started to hurt each other through thought, intention, word, and deed. And so spiritual law, which is, after all, we are all spiritual beings having a physical experience here, came into being because we were hurting each other. And you can't go around hurting one another thinking that there's no consequence, because from the perspective of the Creator, we're all equal. no matter what social standing or what kind of a position that physical carnal way of thinking may gauge on putting people into class categories and groupings and several ways of dividing us, we're still all one and equal in all respect and unconditionally loved by the Creator. The Creator, however, only sees us in perfection, complete perfection, no shadow of turning. We're loved unconditionally. So it's not the Creator that puts laws and things like that upon us. It is a spiritual law from hurting another divine brother or sister in some way or another. Many of us are walking in this path, and we are learning and growing and getting this understanding within us of how interconnected and interwoven we all are. We all play different parts. We're each unique, each beautiful, each amazing, and have so much to offer to one another in this realm of infinite possibilities. But it does not take away from the equality. Whether you push a broom at a McDonald's, or you're a high roller or one that works on Wall Street, there's no discerning when it comes to the equality that we all are at the fundamental basic level. What we do with our life, or how we add or enhance, doesn't matter. None of that matters when it comes to thinking along the lines of how we are all looked upon as equals. It is through our free will. Our free will, that is a God-given gift to each of us, that we make decisions on how we're going to treat another, or the things that we wish to do in life, or how we wish to contribute. It's just as simple as that. It's not, it doesn't take away from anyone. We have artists, we have musicians, we have so many different ways of expression that we all utilize, but all things are equal. Remember, God's not a respecter of persons. We are each looked at as an equal. So back to the masks. The masks can show that we should be quiet and listen more, and because our voice and the frequency that we send out with our intentions, with our heart and our mind, we speak things that can create harm to another brother or sister. And remember, all things are equal and created equal, so why would we ever want to do harm to another divine being? So when we start to think along those lines, the signs of the times and what's going on in the world stage begin to make more sense to us on why we're seeing what we're seeing in the mirror reflection, and how we need to take our power back onto ourselves. Anything that we have given away to another for that brought about any kind of a reactionary type of a reactionary state, where the reaction is not for the best or blessing another, we need to, take back to ourselves what it is that we want to reflect out on the world stage, what it is that we want to see in the mirror, and what we want to see going on. So, here we are looking at an election season, and elections are pretty brutal. I mean, there just seems to be a lack of respect even against the opponent, and I don't know about you guys, I just don't think I would ever want to run for president because boy, oh boy, not only do they get it from the opponent when they're running for the election, but even through their sitting as a president, there's always mud slung at them. So those intentions from all of the divine brothers and sisters are being slung at them all the time. We also need to take into account that the things that we sow out, if we are looking at, if we harm another, or we do things to another, that we will reap that back. So is it worth the cost? Is it that hard to put our heart in check and to bless another? And when we start to introspect and we start to see and take our power back onto ourselves, we will then see things change in the mirror reflection. The mask thing will go away. The freedoms and liberties that we each have through our free will come back, and will work harmoniously with one another, knowing that when we look into another's eyes, it too is a reflection of us as the interconnection. We're all spiritual beings having a physical experience. So I wanted to share this with you because I know there's a lot of us that are seeing, some things going on in the world that are like, what the heck is going on? Well, if we look around with our eyes with clear vision and just, take it into prayer, meditation. Remember, I say prayer is speaking and meditation is listening. We all have within us all the answers. Everything can be found if we learn to quiet ourselves and listen, and to see into another's eyes the divinity that is within them. When we salute the divinity in another, we're basically looking into a mirror. We're acknowledging their divinity and their sovereignty and their free will of choice, also knowing that they're an equal. Therefore, we're seeing that within ourselves. It's a mirror reflection. We should listen to what is going on in our intuition. Our intuition, that gut feeling, the spirit is only going to tell truth. It cannot go outside of truth. And when the truth sometimes comes about, it can hurt, when we find that we're doing things to others that are out of bitterness or revenge because we've given our power over to something that maybe they said or did that we find offensive or hurtful. When in reality, that's us giving our power to another situation. And we shouldn't do that. We need to learn as we grow into this understanding of how beautiful each of us are and how much we add to one another's life. Oh my gosh, it's a blessing. It is a blessing that we learn so much from one another. We learn so much about ourselves by paying attention to that mirror reflection that is going around on the world stage. But if we are to the point where we're only thinking evil things upon our brothers and sisters and only wanting to trodden them down or step on them or hurt them in some way to find some kind of satisfaction, well, that would justify why on the world stage the mirror is showing masks. Put the mask on. No, don't speak right now. Let's get our house in order. So that way we're putting out what is good, what is beneficial, where there's no lack, there's only abundance. And it doesn't matter if one seems to or appears to have more than another. We all have access to the unlimited. The only limitations that we have are the ones we put on ourselves. We are, with the free will, we're given all things. We're able to make our choices, our decisions, and the world will reflect that through the mirror so we can get our own selves, right within. So that way we're treating people, as beautiful, divine expressions of uniqueness that add to our life, that enhance it. How much, I enjoy going to McDonald's and getting a hamburger. Does that mean that I feel that those people are less than because they're working at a McDonald's? Heck no, absolutely not. I mean, there is a service that we're providing regardless of where it is that we find ourselves in life or what we find ourselves doing in our life. We're serving our brothers and sisters in all things equal. All things equal. So remember not to limit yourself, because we're our own limitation. When we break through limitation, then we find affirmations all around us that will support that. The Mandela effect was a huge affirmation of the power that each of us hold within and how it will, affect the world stage by all these things just changing and changing and changing. Has life always been this way and we just were in such darkness we didn't see it? I think so. I think that it's to the point now where the veils are dropping. People are being able to see the world for what it truly is, and how we react and how our intentions and what we put out reflects in that mirror. We have been given all power and dominion over this place after all. So let's not forget that and take it seriously as we go through our experience in this realm. Let's not limit. Let's set our goals high and do to other people what we would want done unto us. When we start to look around at the world stage and we truly start to treat people as we want to be treated, we want to be treated with respect, love, and also respect our choices. As long as our choices are not to harm another being or to take away from anything that they're trying to express while they're having their experience here, all things are good. Everything is beautiful. So if we want to see the world mirror to remove the masks, which again, like I said, is like we need to quiet down, do some more introspection, understand the power that each of us hold, and we each hold it equally. There's no one better than another. We need to think what's going on within our house, and what's going on in our house. Then we want to reflect that out. And as we come to the inner knowing and the knowledge of this profound understanding within us, we're limitless, you guys. I gave the example of looking at a map. If we look at a map of the world and they say that they've measured it and we're taught that in school and things of that nature, that is setting a limitation. It's saying this is what is there and this is all there is. Therefore, we look upon it, we believe it without doubt, and we therefore make it be so. It comes from the power from within us, and that puts a limitation. Now, if we look at that world map and say, that may be true, but I don't know, I think there's more, we've just removed limitation, and it will reflect out in the mirror that there is more, much more. So with that said, that's just an example of one thing to look at that, can put limitations on us that we can break through, because we're infinite. We have no beginning of days or end. We're spiritual beings having a physical experience. And part of it is learning about who we are in truth and expressing that out to one another, showing love, showing unconditional love. When Christ was here, he perfected unconditional love. But through others' free will and confusion, look what they did to him. They couldn't comprehend quite what was going on, didn't understand the perfected being that he was. And therefore, out of lack of knowledge of their own identity, they did, put him on the cross. They killed him. is a lack of understanding. So when we start to look at one another, are we, out of lack of understanding, wanting to harm each other, take away, hurt? No. We want to be lifting each other up and gaining in this understanding, this knowledge, this wisdom that comes to us. And whenever we hear anything from an outside source, we should always take it to prayer, which is speaking, and meditation, which is listening, to get the affirmations from within us that it is true through the Spirit and truth, which resides in you, which resides in me. When we listen, and I'll give another example. If someone says, while we're going through this restoration back to our first estate, that we're going to suffer afflictions, or these waves are coming in that could cause different issues to transpire in our body, and we believe that, what happens is we believe it without doubt, and we manifest it within our body. Same with any kind of illness. That's why advertising works so well. The power of suggestion, can really take root inside our mind, inside our being, and therefore make us desire that new item that they're putting out, or even a new medication that is coming out into the market. Things of that nature. But once we understand the power and the free will and the choice is within us, we take the power back onto ourselves, and therefore make the decisions through our free will and our freedom of choice of what it is that we want to manifest and create to experience here. So I hope that this was helpful. So as we're looking out on the world stage and what we see, don't fear what we see. Just know that we, each of us, each and every single one of us, hold the power to change what we see. It is a mirror after all. It's showing us where we are collectively. And many people that I have talked to that have given testimony, my goodness gracious, the things that are transpiring within an individual's life as they're walking through this, it's astounding. And nothing is off limits, nothing. But now it's time to take a stand and go into it collectively to reflect the worldwide mirror, to reflect what we're seeing in our daily lives, to now mirror reflect on a world stage. And we know that we all have the power within us for change. That change resides within our thoughts, the divine mind that we have, that still small voice, that intuition, our heart. Remember, guys, our hearts by nature, when we're in confusion, are wicked. They really are when you think about it. Think about somebody that gets heartbroken. Their heart is broken. And what are they thinking when their heart is broken? They're thinking bitterness, revenge. They don't want whoever broke their heart. Maybe it was a boyfriend-girlfriend situation and they broke up, and they're dealing with a broken heart. They're not wanting good things to come to the other that just broke their heart. This is why it was said that we need that new heart, that circumcised heart, that circumcision that's without hands. It's done without hands. It opens our heart to a new understanding of who we each are. And then when a breakup would come, we would learn what we needed to learn from whatever transpired. And we would bless and still love that other being, because we have free will choice. We can choose how we will react. We can gain control over our emotions and how we respond to anything that comes our direction. And with that, I hope that I hope this is making sense. Now, I'm not going to say that this is easy to do, and it takes time. Each of us will, need the time that it takes for us to go through what we go through to learn how amazing that not only that you are, but you have been the entire time. Nothing has ever been withheld. Nothing. It's just that we walk in darkness, not understanding who we are in truth, our true identity. And when we start to get glimpses into that unseen realm, that realm of plenty, there's absolutely no lack, there's no limitation. We start to grow in it and strive for it more and more. It's a beautiful and profound knowing when we get the big reveal of our identity. When you get the revelation of Christ, yeah, it's like that. It is completely beautiful. Now, I'm not promoting a religious platform over another. I see all things equal. But being raised, as a Christian, I do find that, even when I read the Bible, and I still read my Bible, the parables and everything, they are different now. I read them differently. There's a different understanding that is transpiring. Even the one where it talks about those who went and worked in the field, and the ones that started at the beginning of the day, they agreed on a wage to work in that day, work for the full day in the field. And then midday, more were added. And then the last hour, more were added to go work in the field. But at the end, when it came time for payment, the ones that came in last were paid first, and the ones that came in first were paid last. And each of them were paid equally. Now, the ones that came in first kind of griped a little bit. Hey, we worked all day. But what does this tell us? It tells us that no matter what, all things are equal. The reward is equal. No matter when we seek, no matter what, it's equal. So don't think of yourself as anything less than who you are. My goodness gracious, when you start to look at other people around you with the amazement and the wonder of how we all are in this together and how we can make the change, it's beautiful. We're each beautiful. And yeah, I mean, it's just an inner knowing. And the more we walk in it, the more we understand, the stronger we stand. And we will never want to create bitterness or harm to befall another, knowing, number one, we reap what we sow. And this is how it comes back multiplied. When you're hurting another divine sovereign who has free will and free choice in any manner, that's where the word karma, or in the Bible, it's called reaping and sowing. Well, if we're hurting each other, well, be prepared, because whatever you're sowing out there, it will come back. That's spiritual law. That's all things equal. The road has to be made straight. It has to balance out. We have to have a balance sheet of 0. We should not owe anything to anyone that we should still have to experience from harming another. There's ways of balancing out that sheet, and I'll talk about that with you guys at another time. But today I just wanted to talk about what we're seeing on the world stage and how it's a mirror reflection, and how it is our power. It is us. We are the ones that are, we've been waiting for us. We're the ones we've been waiting for. We have all the power, all the authority to make the changes and see it reflect in the mirror on the world stage. And anybody who has been Mandela affected and is seeing the changes right before their eyes change, has that inner knowing already whirling around within, ready to be explored more in depth. And always take everything that is, said or heard into prayer and meditation to get the affirmation within. Hearing does help. It really does help. It helps to plant the seeds. It helps people to be inspired to seek more and to know and get into that understanding that they are more. Each of us unique and beautiful. Each of us a reflection of each other. So send out beauty, love, peace, blessings, and that will help you to start to zero out that balance sheet. I know they say that we're under grace and not under law, and many forget that the spiritual law of grace it is a law. It's a higher law, yes. So is the law of forgiveness, and to approach those and knowing how to apply it to our life, to lift burdens off of us, is a beautiful understanding itself. And again, we'll talk about that stuff later. I just wanted to talk today about the world stage, knowing that it's a mirror, and how we can see what it is showing us by, calling it a virus, or, covering our faces and covering our mouth, basically, and what that says to us on multiple levels and how to overcome that. If we want the masks to be removed, we need to introspect, and everything starts with us. And I know I'm speaking to the choir, because I know you guys know this about yourself. Oh, let me get that off there. About how beautiful and wonderful that we each are, and how much we offer to one another. So let's be the change that we're looking for. We can do this. We can do this together, just by showing compassion, love, understanding, and respect for one another. Admire the beautiful offerings that we each do to enhance one another's experience while we are here. There's so much. Oh my gosh. I don't know if anybody is subscribed to Preliminal, but his art and his funky music that he plays, it just shows. And then we've got the Sky Watchers that can show affirmations of what's going on within them, blended also with the world stage sometimes. So, it bleeds over. Sometimes we're impacted by things that are going on in the world, and they affect us. And then they kind of trodden down into our free will. And we don't like that. Nobody wants their free will or freedom of choice to be trodden underfoot. So we must gain back our power and our authority by just acknowledging it and pushing out what it is that we want to see in this world. What is it that we want to see? For me personally, I'd like to see sickness, suffering, and lack be completely removed. Those are the things that I'm trying to, push out from my inner being. Because I don't want to be sick, I don't want to be suffering, and I don't want to be in lack. So why would I want for anybody else who is here in this realm having such an experience to go through any of those things? So when it's things that we want for ourselves, it's really easy to put those affirmations into our prayers and meditations and press them out and stop sowing, bitterness and harm to others. And not only because we're afraid, it's not a matter of fear of the, reaping back, multiplied what we sow, but it should be up by our nature. It should be, and it does, it becomes our nature. We take our power back onto ourselves, and our nature is changed. As we see into others, we see ourselves. So we stop harming others, because we don't want harm to come to ourselves. But the fear, the fear of the Lord, or fear of spiritual law, is the beginning of wisdom after all. And knowing that whatever it is that we're sowing, we will reap back, because all things need to be equaled out. Don't hurt another divine being. Just don't. There's no reason to. There's no reason. We should be walking through this experience hand in hand, loving each other and enjoying what we share, what benefits that we all bring to the table to make this experience colorful and beautiful. And we will see, as we're pushing that out, taking our power back, that masks will be gone. We'll be able to speak again. And our words hold a vibration, a frequency. And with our words, we make change. So to see masks, there's something going on that it's gotten to the point where it's transparent now that worldwide everybody has to put masks on. Or you get a virus, right? So kind of from the words we're speaking, we reap back and it makes us sick. So I hope that this was clear to, see what's going on. Take our power back. Know that you guys are just amazing, wonderfully created, perfected in all ways. And so are all your brothers and sisters. No matter if we see people that still are not able to acknowledge their identity in full, it doesn't take away from who they are. We know the identity. We know their identity. So when we know their identity, whether they acknowledge it or not, it doesn't take away from who they are. It does not. Not in our eyes, right? We see the inner beauty within them. We see what they have to offer. So, yeah, I'm going to keep this one nice and short. I also wanted to let you guys know, I've gotten some emails from people that are being unsubscribed. Make sure you're checking and making sure that you're still subscribed, unless you've unsubscribed by your own volition, because some strange stuff has been going on with YouTube. So just make sure that you still have your subscription if you choose to be subscribed, and share this out, because if people have been unsubscribed and they don't know, they won't even know we're live now and talking about, having a little live stream get together. So if you guys could do that for me, that would be so amazing and so wonderful, and I would appreciate it. And you guys always, let me say hi to everybody that's here, the handful of people we've got here. Hi, Rick Swain, Preliminal, I was just talking about you. Michael Fontaine, what? Rolling Stone 503. And hi, everybody. I appreciate it. It looks like there's 9 in here, just a few talking, but that's okay. I appreciate everybody. I love everybody. And I just love how we each offer so much to one another, and how it enhances our experience that we have here. And getting to know ourselves, our full identity reveal, the Christ revelation moment that we have, getting that circumcised heart and the renewing of our mind is a paradigm shift. It is an event, a huge event that we have that is so unique on the individual level. Just imagine it now on the quantum level, where more and more are having such an event happen with them that it will reflect on the world stage. After all, it is one big mirror. Hi, Brenda. How are you? Good to see you this evening. So it will reflect out on the world stage, as it is one huge mirror. And we are the ones we've been waiting for. We have the power to change what is going on out there. So just know that and keep your power. Hold it. Hold fast to it. You're divine. You're amazing. You're wonderful. You're perfectly made. and you are loved unconditionally and viewed as perfect by the Creator. As we were created in the beginning, created he, them, both male and female, that Creator. The one who speaks and the Spirit moves and creates, that one. That is the one who views you completely perfect, unconditionally loves you, no matter what. So just know that. And as we grow into this love and this understanding, that's who we have a desire to link up. Some call it higher self, other terminologies, but it doesn't matter. It's all talking about the one, and to aspire to be connected and allow that to be what is reflected out and around us is the divine expression perfected. And like I said, Christ did this in his lifetime. He expressed the Father through him and radiated out love, healing miracles, all kinds of things of knowing he was not limited, but limitless. It's out of confusion from people that just don't know. They're kind of still in the dark of their identity, that what happened to him happened to him. So just know who you are. Just know. And, I just love you guys all so much. And I'm sorry I haven't been around much. I've been working on a project. It is finished. It has been turned in over to, after the editor gave it back, it's been turned in, and I will make that announcement when it is time. I've been working on finishing projects that I had started that just, and I thoroughly enjoyed it, and looks like they're wanting more material from me in the future, but I will announce that when the time is right. So high thoughts on that, and I'll try to be around more often. I have been peeking in on a few channels here and there, enjoying what you guys are putting out and all its beauty and how it adds to enhancing our experience. And yeah, you guys are awesome. You're wonderful. And, just look at the world, what's going on around us, discern it, look into that mirror reflection, discern what's going on in the quantum level so we can understand what it is that is going on and transpiring. And we can then take the power that we've been bestowed from the beginning into ourselves and reflect it out. And by reflecting it out, we are the change that we've been waiting for. I'm going to keep this one nice and short. I love you guys so much. And let me squeeze out of here. Where is it? You guys always remember to share what you know. Listen so we can all grow. You're amazing. You're wonderful. You're beautiful. I love you. And yeah. Peace to everyone and goodwill always. Let your life be a blessing to everyone, as your life is such a blessing to me. I'll talk to you soon. Peace.